Hi everyone, and welcome to the Libra January 2023 weekly illumination reading. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot, a place for you to better connect with and illuminate your own personal spiritual importance. So hi everyone and welcome. I'm going to be taking a look here at the energy for the week ahead. So within 7 days of you watching this, that's what we're kind of aiming for here. And we're going to be taking a look at any challenges, blocks, and possible opportunities that are going to be coming in for you, Libra. So I'm starting off here by taking a look at what you're bringing to the week. We have the Sun, which is beautiful energy. This is truly the card of illumination. It's a card of something being brought to light, and possibly what's being brought to light is yourself, the kind of clearest, most innocent, pure version of yourself, because you see this is a little naked child riding on the horse here, and that's what that represents, that true inner child that lies within each one of us being set free. So for many of you, you may be getting back in touch with this part of yourself, or you may just have a very you might have a part of yourself that is coming to light, meaning that it is being illuminated for you, a part, maybe a missing part of yourself. It is my experience that we can go through life and at times actually lose sight of either an innate gift, a talent, or just a part of ourselves that we kind of pushed aside as we were too focused on the day-to-day. But there is something being brought to light here for you guys this week. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull for what's going on around you, and then we'll get into the blocks, challenges, and opportunities. I hope all of you had a good new moon in Aquarius weekend. The new moon was on the 21st, right before the Lunar New Year. So it was a kind of a very potent lineup there for almost like what's a fresh start for all of us as we move into 2023 and for the years ahead, actually. Okay, so in your external environment, we have the Ten of Swords and the Six of Cups. There might be a little bit of a revisiting of a pain from the past. The Ten of Swords is when we have been brought to our knees. There's going to be this moment in each one of our lives, and hopefully it only happens once, but sometimes it does happen multiple times where we get to, something happens in our life. This can be the loss of a job. This could be the loss of a relationship or an entire way of life. And I know because I've experienced this myself. But it's where, again, whatever circumstances happened, it brought you to your knees, to a very low point. But with the Six of Cups coming in here, there's a chance for you in going through this period of time, going through this energy of finding the gift in it, in what you went through, and being able to carry that forward, because that's what the Six of Cups speaks to. Now, for some of you, this could be that you are literally revisiting a past time where you felt like this, and you're finally, what's being illuminated for you is that gift, that kind of aha of, oh my gosh, I forgot about that part of myself that got lost when I went through this, or I realized that a part of myself was unlocked when I went through a period like this. And that's what's coming through for you guys. Now, some of you could be actually moving through this energy as we speak, and in moving through it, there might be an aha moment. Now, with the Hierophant, we're going to be looking at what happened in the past and moving up to the present day here. Now, in the past, the Hierophant, this is where we come face to face with our set of beliefs, the structures and the rules and the things that we have set in place that we choose to follow. These can even be our internal belief systems, what we believe we're capable of, what we believe and how we have to act and what we have to do. But with Judgment coming in, it says that there's been a kind of major overhaul with the Hierophant here. Judgment is when we are called up as someone else, and often that does this is an internal energy. Usually we are the ones hearing the call, and we might not physically change on the outside, but we have changed internally. And that usually translates directly then to an external change in our environment, that we are no longer the person we used to be. And so now suddenly we no longer maybe fit in our circumstances, or our circumstances were changed so that this new part of ourself could be kind of freed, let out. And now for many of you, I think with the Seven of Pentacles, this is what you're sitting in presently. You're kind of looking at your life, the physical, with a discerning eye, with an eye as to where do I continue to invest my time and energy and money? Because the Seven of Pentacles can speak to really stopping and taking a look at what you've actually manifested in your physical experience. And is it something that you want to continue to work towards or work on? Or is this a time now maybe to shift focus? So we're going to go ahead and see what's coming up for the challenge or the block, and then we'll see about the opportunity, what's coming in here for you guys. All right, so what does Libra need to know for the week ahead? Now, I'll give you an example as to what this could look like. So for me, when I was making mention of the fact that I have been through a period in my life where I did have to basically release everything. I had to shed a career path or a job I had long affiliated myself with. I had to shed a long-term relationship, a marriage, and I literally had to lose all of my belongings, like have to walk away from them and move back in with my parents. So that was a fun experience I went through around the age of 35. And it was, a jarring experience. Talk about being very humbled, being brought to my knees. But through that experience, I unlocked a part of myself. The tarot was part of that. I got deeper into my spirituality, but I was also able to open up my avenue to my creative self. I actually wrote and published a book in that time period, and had a very major creative kind of influx where I still have a lot of ideas that I'm using to write the current things that are in the works. But that was something where when I look back at that now, I realize, wow, it was a blessing that, yes, I changed as an individual. What I thought I had to adhere to, I had to face the Hierophant in my life, which was me feeling like I had to stick it out and make a marriage work, because those were the beliefs that I had. I had to stay married. I had to be beholden to the vows I took, because that's what this can also be. It can be, actual contracts that we just tell ourselves we have to abide by. And when I finally had to come face to face with all these things, I told myself I had to keep doing. I had to stay in the same industry because I didn't have a degree, and so I couldn't change career paths. It was one of those kinds of things where finally I had to face all those negative, or all those just beliefs that I had put in place. And in doing so, I was able to really come out as a truly different version of myself. And I'm not going to say it just happened overnight, but it was a process, and I can definitely tell you there was a major gift in it for me in more ways than one. So keep that in mind if you are going through this time period right now, or if for some of you, you are revisiting a period that this speaks to. Okay, so we have all of your cards out now. So we have the Four of Pentacles, the Five of Wands, the Ace of Swords, the Lovers, and the Nine of Wands. Now, right off the bat, the Four of Pentacles is your main challenge this week, which is holding yourself back, kind of, keeping the cards close to your chest, as we would say. And it's one where we know that we need to invest in some way. We know we need to either continue to invest in this plant that we're looking at when we're looking at the fruits that it has bore for us, or we're looking at if we need to now maybe shift gears, but in some way we still have to invest. And this can get to a point where we are like, but no, I'm secure, I'm safe, I don't want to move. I don't want to change something. I don't want to put that little bit of extra seed money into my side hustle to take it up a notch. I don't, want to in some way continue to It's basically sitting in a place of, I just want the security of what I have, and I don't feel because let me see if I can speak here. Because what the Four of Pentacles is followed by in the tarot is the Five of Pentacles. And the Five of Pentacles speaks to a sense of loss, that if I do invest one of my pentacles here, the next thing that will happen is that I actually do not get a return on my investment. Now, ironically enough, then the Six of Pentacles comes in, and that is the return on your investment. But we are all faced with that middle card, the Five of Pentacles, which is our belief, our projection into the future from the Four of Pentacles perspective of what will happen if we choose to make a choice as to what we're going to do with our resources. Now, on the other side of this, we have the Five of Wands, and this can be a card. I always look at it as a card of change. It's a card that either A, all of these individuals are getting together and they are testing out their skill set. They're kind of sparring, and there's a healthy competitiveness here. And in doing so, each one of them will kind of get to better understand their own abilities. There's can also be a sense here, though, of chaos. It can be a little bit of too many cooks in the kitchen and everybody trying to get their word in. And with looking at these two cards intuitively, what I feel is that there may be a lot of other people around you. There could just be a lot of stuff happening in your life right now. And you're kind of sitting there holding on to what you have and just saying, like, I need a moment. I need to center myself. I need to really look at my time, my energy, and my financial resources. And I need to see what I need to do. I need this to be illuminated from within for me. Because then we have the Ace of Swords at the heart of your reading. And this is what Spirit is asking you to embrace. It's clarity. This is the ultimate rediscovery of your truth. It is that kind of aha moment of, oh my gosh, out of everything I went through here, about the scenario that brought me to this lowest point, well, what did I get out of that? What is that one guiding truth that I got out of this scenario? Whether it is health means everything to me if you went through a health crisis, whether I can weather any storm. And if I, have to work 100 jobs, it doesn't matter, because for me, that's, I realize that is not going to ever bring me down again. And there's something here around getting clarity, very clear about a personal truth. A truth that ties directly back to, I think now, what is going to be illuminated here, that's going to say, what part of yourself and knowing this truth have you been maybe perhaps kind of putting by the wayside, or that has been hidden? Because on the other side, you have the Lovers. And the Lovers is a beautiful energy of leaning into either a romantic relationship, who you love, or leaning into what you love. And again, this is a very intuitive reading. Looking at these two cards directly here, there is something here. It's like this individual is the same individual here. And she's realizing in this moment who she is, what she loves in her, that person who wants to live passionately. And who is that person that she wants to bring close to her? Or what is that experience she wants to bring to herself? And I think for many of you, there's a truth here around this, around what you love, around holding that dear. And even if this is an idea of love, maybe this was a failed relationship out here. But the truth of the matter is, and that even though the relationship ended, the truth is that you still want that relationship. And it may not be that you want that specific person, but that you still want that in your life. But now you see it from a new perspective, from a place of, yes, I was brought to my knees, but now I know myself better. Now I know what I'm capable of. That can also speak to the Five of Wands. And now I'm going to get back out there. There really is a kind of getting back out there feeling, whether this is getting back out there into the job world, getting back out there into the dating world, or getting back out there in whatever capacity gets you closer to this feeling of what you love, and what possibly when you were brought to your knees, what what was kind of robbed from you in that experience? Because then we have the Nine of Wands over here. And the Nine of Wands is your last kind of point of challenge here, which is the weary, wounded warrior, his exhaustion. It's, oh gosh, I've come so far. This has been a really hard process. And yeah, I just need a moment. This can be the card of burnout, where it's just like, oh, I have to keep just standing here, kind of holding the fort, so to speak, or holding down the fort. And I think what many of you need to really give yourself is the kudos for how far you've come, what you've been capable of. But also now with the Nine of Wands coming in, this is the end of a cycle. You have one more point of action to take to get to the Ten of Wands, which closes out that major cycle, and you get to put the burden down of everything you've kind of had to bear up to this point. But this is saying here with that coming in that the burnout is because you've lost sight of what you love. And this is saying to go back to that truth within, that clarity with the sun coming through, of the realization of maybe you've been holding a part of yourself back from investing in something because of what happened here. And it's saying, maybe you're not investing in the new relationship now. Maybe you're in a relationship and it's time to buy the ring, or it's time to move in together, or it's time to start prioritizing going on dates, and you're like holding yourself back. No, I don't want to get back out there because it could be chaotic. It might not, this is competition. I might not be the winner. But the truth of it is, I think for many of you realizing it doesn't matter if I'm not the winner this time, it's because I love it. And that's going to be the clarity, and that's going to be the aha moment, because I want to be in another relationship with someone, because I am worthy of love and I want love. Or even if I have to go out there in an open competition and my business doesn't take off the way that I want, I'm doing it because I love it, because that's the gift I was given when I had to go through this. Or I'm going to focus on my family because I love them and it's time for me to invest in them. There's something here around that where it is really clear that you're realizing you're finding the strength to kind of go back into the chaos, or go out into the world of kind of the open market competition. And you're realizing the truth of the matter is it's because you love it. You've been holding yourself back in some aspect, and it's time to just say, devil may care, I'm going to do it because I love it. All right, so let's see the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands. Yeah, many of you, there's been a level of not being free to kind of that's way too many. The Knight of Wands is a card of Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is kind of the optimistic adventurer. And with the Wheel of Fortune coming in, there is something around this where if you would invest, I think for many of you, you haven't felt free for a long time to kind of just follow your heart's fancy, which is a little bit of what this Knight of Wands speaks to. And I think for many of you, if you would simply start to invest yourself, again, it doesn't have to be money. Investing anything in Pentacles is tangible. It's your energy, it's your time, and it is your physical resources. So this could say there's something here that hinges with the Wheel of Fortune. There's an opportunity here that wherever you decide to invest that time, energy, and money, as long as it's towards what you love, this could actually bring something to you in your favor. Okay, so let's take a look at the Five of Wands. Let's see what Libra needs to know about the Five of Wands. Yeah, there's the Nine of Wands. Okay, the burnout. Yeah, I think some of you feel like you're just not up to it. You're not up to the challenge. You're not up to going back out. You might just feel exhausted on, just a very basic level of, I just don't have the time and the energy and the resources because I'm exhausted. And this is saying, yes, but there comes the Ace of Swords. The reality of it is, are you exhausted because you haven't been taking action towards what you love? Are you exhausted because you actually haven't committed to something, committed to an aspect of yourself, committed to an aspect of your experience that you want to bring in, that you want to grow? And maybe for some of you, you're just exhausted, maybe with the chaos that's in your life. And that could be too. There could be an element here for some of you that the realization is like there's just too much going on in your life. It's too chaotic. There's too many people maybe coming in and talking to you about this and that. And you're realizing it's time for me just to kind of clear the deck, clear the board, and go towards what I want. And for some of you, I'm just going to say this just because of how the cards are coming out now with the second layer. For some of you, Libra, this can literally be that you need to release or tie to a past relationship, or a tie to a current relationship that you're still in if it's bringing you to this point. But there's something here around clarity, I think, where maybe perhaps you were burned out, what got you to this place of being at your lowest point. And it could have been another individual in your life that was not maybe trustworthy, or someone who was not dependable, because that's also what the Knight of Wands can speak to. And with the Ace of Swords and the World coming up along with the Page of Wands, this is the hard and fast end to whatever has happened here. You're realizing something has come to an end, and out comes the Page of Wands, the child within that holds her passion and is ready to go out there with this youthful exuberance. For the lovers, we have the Eight of Wands. There may be some communication, just saying, especially with the Six of Cups and the Ten of Swords in your external environment. Kind of like what I was saying before, this might be a revisiting of a time through someone else, because the Six of Cups can speak to someone from the past coming back in. It can speak also to making peace with the past. So there may be, if this might be a very specific message, Libra, there may be a communication from a person in your past who is coming back. And they may be communicating about, just themselves getting kind of lost in the shuffle of their life. And that now maybe they're ready to make a choice, or you're ready to make a choice. So this could be also where you're communicating to someone in your life that the routine you have, the day-to-day experience you have is not what you want. and it's burning you out. That there's something here around something that you love, or someone that you love, that unfortunately it's just a little too much. This can also be too where, for those of you where this is a realization of wanting to follow what you love and realizing that you haven't allowed yourself to do that due to whatever circumstances you've been going through. This can also be where there's kind of quick forward movement when you are able to really solidify your day-to-day routine to prioritize putting your time and energy and investment into what's already in place and continuing to build, continuing to prioritize it, simply for the fact that you love it, that it inspires you. That's what the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is a childlike energy who's just inspired, and that's it. And for some of you, maybe when you went through this kind of death process with the Ten of Swords, maybe it killed literally the part of yourself that was uninspired, and what came forward with the clarity was your inspired self. That flame that you had kind of lost touch with. That's what Judgment was. That's what rose like a phoenix from the ashes. Okay, that's now I'm pulling here for the Nine of Wands, and we have Justice and the Five of Coins. So there's that Five of Coins. So we have the Four of Coins, and now the Five of Coins is coming out over here. So this is what I'm saying. You guys are being faced right now with a choice. Do you choose to invest in something you love and face that potential that it might not lead to you might suffer a loss? But with Justice coming in, I think for many of you that's not going to be the case, because Justice is that is true balance. It's harmony. It's one where the scales are balanced. And maybe there's a realization now too that for some of you, kind of like what I went through, that as you had to lose everything, it will be returned to you. So now investing, so this would be actually an interesting kind of example from my personal life. So this would be like now where I am in a new marriage and I do have a home and a family, and it would be like me holding myself back from continuing to invest in our home together and our life together out of fear that I might have to lose everything. I might have to walk away from everything again. So I'm not going to, really buy the furniture for the house and truly move us all in, because I might all have to go away someday. Or I'm not going to truly give up my time and energy to my husband because he might walk away from me someday. And so this is saying, you've come so far, you've gone through what you've gone through. You have the courage to face what's here because you already went through something where you lost everything on some level, whether it was you lost your health on some level, you lost your money on some level, you lost love on some level, but somehow here, the justice is coming through to say whatever you lost in the past will be returned to you, but you have to have kind of almost like this blind faith that by following and investing what you love, it will free this inner part of yourself, or this inner part of yourself has now been freed to be able to do that. Again, for some of you, this may be around a specific relationship and the realization there could be a communication with an individual in your life of, something that needs to end, or a shift in, how you live together. But there is something here with justice coming in at the end that things will be balanced out. And, sometimes there is a making and a breaking of a contract in that regard. This could be like where you want to invest in a side hustle and truly make it to level up and make that your main business. But yet, here you're having a hard time with getting the courage to maybe break the contract with your current place of your 9-to-5 business, because you're afraid that you're going to have that monetary loss and that you're not going to be able to make it back over here. And this says you're a new person. So whatever contract you have to break here, it's almost like trusting in the divine that, yes, you'll have to walk through the 5 of Pentacles one more time, but on the other side will be the 6 of Pentacles where you'll get that return on your investment, but you have to make the investment for yourself or in yourself. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull a final card here, Libra. Yeah, there's 3 messages coming through here. For some of you, this is literally just about realizing that it's time for you to invest in something that's very important to you, and it's what you love. And yet it means that there's going to have to be a major change in your lifestyle, and that might mean the breaking of a contract, the making or breaking of a contract, and you're kind of afraid, I think, to do that, to really know that something has come to a hard and fast end here. But yet, if you face that, the clarity is going to be that you get to liberate your inner child, your passionate self. Or for some of you, this is literally getting a communication from someone in the past that had hurt you. And it may be something that, with the Wheel of Fortune coming in, could be in your favor or out of your favor. You may choose to go back with this person or not. That might be what you're deliberating. And for others, this may simply be the realization about something in your experience. Again, a gift you might have been given in what you went through, and how now you can bring back into your life what you love, that you might have put aside following something that you love and living a life of passion because of what you went through. And it's time to say, it doesn't matter if it feels chaotic. It doesn't matter if it gets you out there again. It's time to just lean into what you love and invest. And in turn, the scales will be balanced in your favor. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead here and pull a final card, Libra. Get a final message. We have, oh, I love it. Birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. I'm going to pull just a couple clarifiers for that. So for some of you, this could be around literally birthing something new. What's going on here? Sorry guys, I didn't realize my cards were mixed up. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, so for some of you, there may be something here around, a creative part of yourself that actually might be part of literally birthing new creations, dreaming of a new world, or what you went through has allowed you to see something new for yourself, that there is a new dream that's coming in. It's actually just a very beautiful message here. Let's see if there's anything else that wants to come out for you. Anything else that Libra needs to know about birthing a new age. Now here's the Five of Wands again. So here's, this is saying, it's going to feel chaotic, and it might mean that you have to get back out there again. But this is saying get back out there in whatever capacity, whether get competitive, start to invest in that side hustle to make it, your main hustle, or get back out there to start dating again, because that's the beauty of it, there is someone out there for you, and look at it as fun. Okay, we have quite the story going on here. Ooh, these are all reversed, I'm going to look at this deck. I don't put reversals in my deck, so I'm going to look at this right here. So we have the Six of Wands, the Six of Swords, and the Fool all came out reversed with the Seven of Wands on top of it upright. Seven of Wands is defending. This is a defensive stance, defending your actions. And when we think of the Six of Wands, the Six of Swords, and the Fool, this is literally some aspect of where you would want it to be seen as successful, and having to move on from that and have a fresh start, because somehow that didn't happen for you. Whatever this was, it came out, and it was, truly the reversal of this energy that you were not recognized for something. And for many of you, you're defending not moving on from this. And I think that this is really what you're kind of being asked to do, is to release this defensive stance and kind of get back out. It's almost like this individual is kind of protecting himself from having to get down into the fray, because he's holding himself back, saying, well, no, I'm waiting for the recognition for this. I'm waiting to move on, or I'm waiting something has got to happen here. And, the cards are saying there was, with the world coming in, a hard stop to something, and you really needed to move on and just have a fresh start, and yet that didn't happen. So now it's time to get back out there. And I think in getting back out there, you're going to gain clarity as to, again, what you had been clinging to out of fear because of this past experience. I'm going to leave it there. I know this is kind of a jumbled reading, but there were so many different messages coming through. So it all seems to be along the same vein, around love, though, around investing, that you're kind of waiting to see where to invest yourself and how to invest yourself. But really the main theme here is saying you're a new person, and it's time to invest yourself in what you love. And if this is a person coming back from the past, then that's for you to make that decision as to, do you still love them? Now that you are a new person, is this person the person for you? Or maybe the person coming in is the one who's giving you the clarity, is able to say, maybe they're coming in to ask for forgiveness, or they're just coming in to interact with you, and that interaction gives you that clarity. All right, I could sit here and go down the rabbit hole with this message all day long, but Libra, I'll leave you with that. I hope you all have a very illuminating week ahead, and I look forward to reading for you next week. If you'd like to book your own reading, you can click on the link in the description box below to visit my website and see a list of services that I offer. Alrighty. Bye, everyone. Have a wonderful week.